you mentioned Monty Williams. He said yesterday also that he's feeling a lot less sore than he was on Sunday, a lot better than on Sunday. That was after yesterday's practice. And they were calling it a stinger, which you guys know a stinger can go away after a few days and doesn't even last that long all the time. So I think he'll get better over the course of this series, and I think he'll be fine pretty soon. And tonight he'll be, if he was 40% Sunday, maybe 75% tonight. So, look, I think it's going to affect his shot. You saw his ball handling was clearly affected when he lost the handle. Chris is a guy that rarely turns the ball over, but he kept losing his dribble. I think he'll be more sure with his dribble. But the question is the jump shot. He can be effective out there with his leadership, his intelligence, defensively. He's talking. He's, a lot of times calling out the opponent's plays or what they want to do. His savvy, his experience. And I think the Suns get confidence just when he's on the floor. So I think he can be effective that way. But the big question is, what is his shot going to look like? If I'm the Lakers, I'm testing him. I'm getting physical with him, not dirty, but I'm getting physical any chance I get to test him. And if I'm the Lakers, I'm looking at double teaming Devin Booker and making Chris Paul score, making Chris Paul shoot, and also Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and seeing if they can do it. Because with Devin Booker, the Lakers don't have one guy they can put on him to slow him down.
Nope.
His 34 points, I'm not saying he goes for that tonight necessarily, but that wasn't so much an aberration to me. I think DeAndre Ayton was an aberration. I think Anthony Davis will be much better tonight and be able to slow him down. The Lakers don't have that one guy on D-Book. So I would double him, get the ball out of his hands, and see where Chris Paul is with that shot. And if it's not going, that could be a good strategy. So I think the Lakers win tonight, even this series up. And Chris Paul is maybe 14 points. I don't think he has a huge game, but maybe 14 points, six or seven assists, something like that.
Yeah, Chris, I agree with you. The stingers come and go, but the one thing I do know, having dealt with stingers, is that a sudden jolt or a sudden hit skip will bring it right back on. And so you see the way it caused him to get his head. It was like he hit Cam, I think Johnson, then he pushed his head to the right, and it ended up having a shooting pain down his arm. For me, I agree with you. I'm going to test him. I'm going to see. I'm going to put his butt in the pick and roll. I'm going to hard pick him. I'm going to foul his butt. If I'm LeBron James, Chris Paul has showed me how important this series is, because he's willing to grab my arms and to block a hard playoff box out. I got no problem with the hard playoff box out. So guess what? I got no problem with hard fouls. I'm not trying to injure Chris Paul, but I'm going to foul him. I'm going to look at Chris for the next series, however long it goes. Chris Paul is not a friend of mine. We've never gone on vacation together. We've never had dinner together. Our families don't know each other. I'm treating Chris Paul just like I would anybody else that's in my way, that's trying to steal or take something from me. So that's what I'm going to do if I'm LeBron James. But I'm going to find out early on just how healthy that right arm, that right shoulder is of Chris Paul, because I'm going to put his button pick and rolls. I'm going to be up on him, Schroeder. And I'm going to double book. I agree, Chris. I'm going to get the ball out. If Mikal Bridges and Jay Crowder, who shot 7 of 22, and they were 2 of 12 from the three-point line, if they beat me, hey, I can't stop everybody. But I refuse to let Devin Booker get going and let him cook me. And I expect Anthony Davis to do a better job of neutralizing DeAndre Ayton. He will not get outplayed. He got outplayed by DeAndre Ayton. He got out-hustled by DeAndre Ayton. And LeBron and AD cannot combined for fewer points than Devin Booker with 3 fewer field goal attempts. So that's not going to happen. So I'm taking the Lakers also, but I'm going to find out early on. I'm not going to feel out and let's see what Chris Paul. I'm going to find out early on just how healthy that shoulder is of Chris Paul.
You're going to beat up a poor man that's already hurt?
Yeah.
Really? He's 6 feet tall. Your guy's 6'9", right?
Yep.
He's right-handed. He will have little to no use of his right arm tonight, I believe.
Well, I'll make sure I'm going to make sure he ain't going to have no use of it, because I'm going to drum hard picks.
So my friend Chris Broussard says that Chris Paul was 40% on what day was it? Sunday. 40%? I saw 10%. Did you see 40?
Yep.
40?
More like 65.
He was slinging it like he slung in one shot. I don't even know how it went in. He couldn't shoot a lick.
He hit that big shot.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a big shot. He threw it from his side, right? He kind of threw it sidearm. Like it's the weirdest looking shot I ever seen. He can't shoot a lick. Tonight, you say he'll be 75. He'll be lucky to be 40% tonight. Because what's his injury history? When he gets hurt, he just stays hurt. He's had a long litany of playoff injuries that last, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know if he has that sort of mental toughness to come back from injury. I don't know what it is, but this was a mysterious injury. I still don't know what it was. Probably a stinger. Mm-hmm. But he'll be out there tentative, and he's obviously a dominant right-handed player who's going to have to play all left-handed.
Good.
So you don't even have to honor him. You just force him to shoot.
Yeah.
Like I told you earlier, just double off him.
Yes.
Double Booker every time he steps across half court. Make him give the ball up. Make him take impossibly tough shots. Mm-hmm. And dare Chris Paul to sling shots from wherever he wants to sling them from, because he's got no shot tonight.
Well, good. But I'm still going to test him. I'm still going to put his button to pick. I'm going to set hard back screens on him. I'm going to pick and roll him. I'm going to do all that stuff to test that right shoulder. You said he was 10%. Well, I'm going to try to get it down to 5%.
Okay. Now back to your guy's man, LeBron James. Tomorrow, when I sit down here, I'm not going to give him a pass the way you gave him a pass for game one, because that was inexcusable.
I didn't give it.
Okay, Phoenix scores 18 points in the fourth quarter, and LeBron is nowhere to be found. He's disengaged. He's unplugged. He's kind of uninterested. He didn't attack at all. He goes 1 of 4 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3, and 1 of 4 from the free throw line. That you can't have. If he's the best player on the planet, and you hold the other team to 18 because their point guard and their most valuable player can't shoot, well then you got to do better than lose by 9. They lost by 9.
Yeah,
that's impossibly bad. So tomorrow, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to critique LeBron the way he should be critiqued, and I think he'll have a bounce-back game. He better.
Hey, Chris, he gonna critique him in a win. I don't care but what kind of grade you give him. We win the ball game. You give him an F, but we winning.
Well, you should win.
Yeah, I would be stunned. I'd be stunned, Skip, if LeBron comes out as passive as he was in game one. And again, to me, that's his history. He's lost almost half of his game ones in his career, just all series. And obviously, that's a lot of series. He was feeling the Suns out. You can question why. You can say he should have taken over in the fourth. But that has been a pattern for LeBron, so I think that's what he was doing. I think it'll be much better, much more aggressive tonight. I think what Shannon brought up about LeBron going at CP3, that's interesting. Because this is reminiscent, even though it's only in the first round, of LeBron, of Magic and Isaiah, when they would go at it in the finals. And you remember Magic threw the elbow at Isaiah.
He did.
Yes, and to show him, look, this is a different level. And to show his teammates, this friendship is not going to get in the way of our championship. And that did hurt their relationship.
Yes.
Like, we know there was stuff later, but that was the genesis of their relationship kind of crumbling. And so I don't know that LeBron would do that. I think they'll get physical with him. I don't think he'd go at Chris like that. Well, I think LeBron obviously wants to win and beat them, but I think LeBron's the type of dude that probably wants Chris to have a nice game, a good game, but lose. So I would be surprised. I would kind of like to see it, but I don't know if LeBron will do that.
But if you remember, you can't forearm nobody now. They're going to throw your butt out the game, Chris. They ain't like it was in the 80s. You do what they do in the 80s, the way the Lakers and the Celtics and the Pistons went at it. You get suspended not just one game. You probably going to get missed 2 games. But if I'm LeBron, I go back and look at the tape. You look at how LeBron looked at Chris Paul when Chris Paul was down there. He was down there checking on him. When he pulled LeBron down, he looked back there and walked the other way. Brian said, if I'm LeBron, I go get that chance. Oh, so that's how we doing it? Okay. I got some. I see it. I see it. I'm going to do his butt the same way. I'm going to do his. Couldn't be me.
He's hurt.
I don't care. What you thought I was laying on the floor when you yanked my shoulder down?
He was flopping.
Okay.
He was,
well,
he was melodrama.
Well, Chris Paul
it was
gonna be
drama king.
Well, Chris Paul gonna be floppy because I'm gonna hard foul his butt right on that shoulder. I'm like, hey, let him go down the lane, y'all. I got something for him.
Well, I got something for your man, the Big Penguin. He should be on ice tonight.
Nope.
Yep, it's over for Kareem Abdul-Drummond. They need to just put him in mothballs, get him out of the way, and let AD operate as the quote-unquote 5. It's on a silver platter for you.
Chris, have you ever seen anything like this? If AD plays bad, it's Drummond's fault. But when he crushed DeAndre Ayton just 2 weeks ago, Drummond was on the court. When he went to Portland and dropped 38 and 16, and even though they lost, Drummond was on the court. It's when he goes 5 of 16. He shoots 6 for 20. It's Drummond's fault. But we had these monster games, don't nobody mention Drummond.